Hi Maddie, got a question for you. What's the issue with having a 1 to 2 week rolling training plan just to keep fit for recreational riding on the weekends? I don't mind being 80% of my peak fitness all year round. A couple of coaches I've spoken to, they seem to be all about goals, peaking, etc. But they just don't seem to understand that I just want a very simple program that I can do on my turbo because I'm time crunched, so that I've got good enough fitness to ride with friends and family during the weekend. I don't know if this is possible or I'm just trying to be overly simplified, but I'm hoping that you can tell me either way whether this is possible. Look forward to hearing you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
All right, mate. Thanks so much for your question. It's a good one. Very interesting one, in fact. So can you train with a revolving training plan so you maintain that fitness all year round? Of course you can. Of course you can. At the end of the day, it all comes back to goals, just like you've been told by other coaches. But it all comes back to your goals, not their goals, not their template, not what they want you to do. It comes back to you and whatever that is. So if your goal is to just be at 80%, be fit enough to go riding with some mates, friends and family, maybe do a few races on the side, then if that's your goal, then a revolving training program is going to, tick most of those boxes for you. If you're happy with that, if you're happy heading out, not being in your peak, if you're happy to head out and maybe get dropped off if you're doing a race, if you're going to hurt more than usual, then that's all good. If it ticks the boxes, go out and get after it. The only time it's not alright is that if that's not what you want. If you do actually want to improve your performance, if you want to peak well at a race, then something's got to change. So the bottom line is, it sounds like your 2-week revolving circulating training program is probably doing the job for you. The only issue comes is if you actually do want to adapt and improve your performance beyond where you are now, something's going to have to change. You're going to have to do something different. The body will adapt to things, and once it adapts to them, it will plateau or start to decrease if you don't keep that training load up. So I think I've answered that question, the one that you answered. So I thought what I'd do is just dig into a little bit of how you could tweak your training program to continue to get incremental gains, even though you probably don't want to chuck too much time into your training program. So if you've got the same amount of time every week to train, let's say it's over winter, because often people go into a wee holding pattern over winter, then what you can do is you can change how you're training. So it's not all about duration. Duration's only one measure of training. So what we can do is we can change the way we're doing our intervals. We can do more intervals, we can do shorter intervals, we can do longer intervals. We can change out our rest period. We can shorten that rest interval to make our intervals more aerobic in nature, or we can make our rest intervals longer so our intervals become more high intensity, explosive and aerobic in nature. So there's variations within those interval sessions that you can do on your turbo trainer or your wind trainer at home, still same amount of time but different adaptations. The other thing you could do is do some strength work, which I'll talk about in our next segment about strength training. But if you haven't been doing any strength training, there's big gains to be made just by adding some strength training into your program. So little things that you can do. If you're primarily riding, like it sounds like you are, go and do some running. Running takes less time. You get sort of bigger rewards for it. Great cross-training for cyclists, and I highly recommend cyclists run during the winter for that cross-training benefit. Something different, get a little bit of impact loading on that joint, on those joints, help improve bone density. All of those things get missed out when you're cycling. So it comes back to your goals at the end of the day. If you're happy with your training program that you've got, the results that you're getting, then by all means, keep on keeping on just like you're doing. However, if you are wanting something different than what you're getting, then the training program that you're doing is not the one for you. And it's because it's limiting you. You're doing the same thing, so you're going to get the same results. So if you want to change up a few things to still get those adaptations, then hopefully those few hints have helped you out. But at the end of the day, it comes back to your goals. Reassess your goals. Make sure you're heading in the direction that you want to head. And if you are, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. They're your goals. It's your life. Get out there, enjoy it. That's number one. And tick those goals off. If you've got any other questions, please send me in a voice message and I'll do my best to answer it.